I think about Mickey finding love all the time. That's the one, big, wish, goal, hope I have for Mickey. Because he wants to have a girlfriend more than anything. And I would love him to have that kind of, song in his heart that he wants to have. And I know we won't be here forever. And he'll have, his sister, but I would love him to fall in love, and even if it's just holding somebody's hand. My name's Caren Zucker, and I'm a journalist, a producer, and most importantly, a parent of Mickey McGinnis, who is my 31-year-old son who has autism. Mickey being diagnosed with autism completely changed everything about our lives. I was a producer that was traveling around the world, and my husband was a sports producer who was gone more often than I was. I knew I was going to slow down once I had kids, but I did not think for a minute that I was going to spend the next 25 years reporting on autism. It wasn't a choice. It was, well, I have this child who has autism, and I have this gift, which is that I'm a journalist and that I can educate the world about autism. No network had covered autism as a story. Nobody knew what autism was. And the first show we did in 2000, that was a half-hour show on Nightline. And it was about two children, one of them who, was on one end of the spectrum, and the other one who had very little or no speech. And I'll never forget the line of the mother who had a son who was more profoundly affected, saying, what's one word worth? Just one word. We did stories about girls with autism. We did stories about siblings with autism. We did stories, like any kind of topic that I could come up with. They created a series for us which was called Echoes of Autism. But my colleague and correspondent who I had done the stories with at ABC, John Donovan, wanted to do a book on the history of autism. And that took about 7 years. And that was a huge undertaking. After the book came out, I still felt like I hadn't reached the people I wanted to reach. That, a 500-page book, not everybody's going to read. And I was a producer, and I really still felt like the story hadn't been told the way that I thought it should be told. And it was for people to see how broad the spectrum was and how different the people are on the spectrum. And to see a documentary, to see a film that once you've seen it, you can never unsee it. So In a Different Key is a movie that shares with you the first person ever diagnosed with autism and how community, the way that the community embraced this first person is something that we should all aspire to around the world. Mickey was at an event that where an organization had shown In a Different Key, and the teachers came up to him and were telling him, oh, we just saw you in the movie, and he felt like a movie star. He was like, it's my movie, that's my movie. And I think he is proud of it, but I don't think that he realizes the impact that his story has made, and that he got to connect with the first person ever diagnosed with autism, Donald Triplett. I don't think that he knows how special all of that was, but I think it doesn't matter. I think that Mickey has also taught people things, probably more People have gotten more out of Mickey than Mickey has probably gotten out of being in the film. I am not the person I would be without Mickey. My whole life would have taken a different path. But he gave that to our family, which is the desire to learn and understand and educate ourselves, to give him the best, most independent life he could have. That was my driving force, is what could I do to give him the most independent and happy life that he could have. And I wanted to share that with the world.